Gabriel here with the Icon Capture GPS Intelligence Brief for July 10th, 2026. All right, grant and research portfolio managers, we need to talk, because this is one of those boards where if you only look at the opportunity count, you are going to misread the market. Here's what I want to do with you today. I want to walk through the new opportunity flow, the legislative and executive movement, the regulatory and court signals, and then bottom line what this means if you're actually managing a portfolio right now and trying to decide where to lean in, where to stay patient, and where you may be kidding yourself. Before we start, this is the last brief before this terrain window narrows. 0 seats left in the GPS Displacement Window review. 6,100 opportunities. Competitive displacement windows this week. That signal is what opened this session, and it will not repeat the same way tomorrow. Code GPS 569 at the-govcon-elite capture. Now, let's read the board. So let's get right to the facts. Over the last 168 hours, GPS surfaced 6,100 new opportunities posted on SAM.gov. 2236 legislative signals, 0 federal hiring signals across 0 agencies. And all of that is happening while market BCL is 0%, with 0 agencies stalled under the continuing resolution. In the past week, we've seen a significant surge in opportunity flow, with 6,100 postings popping up on the radar. However, the critical observation here isn't just the volume. The capture ticker shows a conspicuous absence of budget ceiling lifts, or BCLs, which typically signal expanded funding availability. When we talk about top opportunities like the FY27 City Pair Program Award or the Airborne Sensors Program Contract Award, the absence of disclosed amounts raises questions about the financial accessibility behind these high-profile listings. The board is painting a picture of high-volume activity, but without the clarity of budgetary ceilings, the landscape may appear more open than it is. Grant and research portfolio managers might find this a mixed bag. The allure of new postings is tempered by the potential for financial constraints. It's a classic case of accessibility versus raw volume, a dichotomy where the number of opportunities may not equate to viable or fully funded pathways. Current conditions underscore the need for careful navigation. While the influx of opportunities could suggest an abundance of options, the lack of clear financial parameters hints at a bottleneck. Managers who read this tape know that navigating such a landscape requires a keen eye on the fiscal underpinnings, not just the opportunity headlines. Turning to secondary signals, the landscape appears rather static, with 0 entries for hiring, court opinions, and lobbying clusters. This absence speaks volumes. With no new legislative hires or court rulings to potentially shift the landscape, grant and research managers are left with a steady state, suggesting minimal external disruptions. The quietness in lobbying also indicates a lull in advocacy-driven market shifts. Without terrain holes or lobbying clusters, the market appears mispriced in its predictability. For savvy managers, this could mean that while traditional avenues remain quiet, emerging fields without saturated interest might offer untapped potential. The current environment might seem stable, but therein lies the opportunity for strategic reallocation. Exploring lesser-known paths where competition is thin yet promising. In this context, the absence of typical market rattlers, such as legislative churn or court interventions, provides a unique moment to recalibrate portfolios. Managers who can read between the lines might find that now is the time to position themselves favorably before the next wave of shifts is triggered by policy changes or increased lobbying activity. The current funding landscape is characterized by a dynamic, policy-driven market where legislative and executive shifts are actively reshaping demand conditions. As portfolio managers, you should be asking, how do these policy changes impact the sectors we are targeting? Are our submission strategies aligned with the evolving funding priorities? How can we leverage current opportunities to mitigate any potential funding gaps? In this climate, precision in aligning submission strategies with policy directions is not just beneficial, it's essential for maintaining a competitive edge and ensuring sustained portfolio growth. Last thing before I sign off, and I want to be direct. 0 seats left in the GPS displacement window review. When this window closes, the terrain that justified it moves on. Tomorrow's signal will be different. The next session will read a different board. If the brief we just walked through gave you a reason to act, now is the time. Code GPS 569. communities.theicon.ai/capture/the-govcon-elite. 14.1 million records, 4 verticals ready. Provenance traced from bill to award. Like and subscribe if you're managing a federal grant, research, GovCon, or commercial portfolio. I drop a new GPS brief every weekday. All links, terminal preview, Shipley sessions, live cohort calendar, and the full brief are at communities.theicon.ai/capture/the-govcon-elite. Register free, and it's all there. This is Gabriel. I'll see you tomorrow.